Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I thank everyone, okay, the discussants for the professional discussion number 3, which title issues in conducting final examination part 2. Okay, due to high demand last time, whereby they requested to do a part 2 because there were some issues that was really wanting to know how to actually solve or rectify that, inshallah. So without further ado, this is again, I would like to remind for those who are not familiar with the format, the video on housekeeping rule of the professional discussion is available in YouTube for as a refresher. If you want to also follow the previous professional discussion, it is all recorded and uploaded in our Akil TV YouTube channel, inshallah, together with this session as well. Okay. Now, again, I'd like to remind everyone, this is actually a discussion, not a presentation. So I invite everyone, to be very much open, to ask questions, to give comments, to even answer. It's okay to also do that because we are sharing our opinions, inshallah. Now, so to continue, since this is part 1 and today is part 2, let us carry on, okay, through the key points that was highlighted in the previous professional discussion. There were 10 takeaway points, and several were actually questions that may require a response from ODAI or the exam unit team. But I believe that today is going to be Brother Rafai only. I just contacted Brother Hafiz. They all have some other engagement. But thank you. We still, Deputy Dean is definitely enough, inshallah. So let's start with number 1. The members of discussion last time, suggested to have multiple platforms to share information about examination other than email. So some were saying, using SOCMED, social media, other than email, and etc. there. Probably Brother Rafai can explain what are the other mediums that ODAIL actually use in spreading information about the examination.
Okay, thank you very much, Brother Samsudin. Okay, for the first question or the first issue is on the having multiple platform to share information about examination other than, of course. Okay, our current practice is that we uploaded the announcement in IUM announcements, which can be retrieved through iMaklum, because the official communication between ODAI and student is basically through iMaklum. Because all the announcement to be made is already embedded in the iMaklum. Okay, that's basically the official platform between ODA and students, and at the same time, okay, we have the IUM email as well as a backup. You're muted, Samsudin.
Okay, right. Thank you. Okay.
Okay.
Now, okay, thank you. So I believe the key point there is other than email, there's also iMaklum platform, etc.
Yes.
Which is a official platform. Thank you. Now, number 2, the briefing conducted on examination to invigilators. Okay, were there any kind of briefing, for examination invigilators given to them in particular on how to conduct or how to invigilate? So that would be the question.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, currently no. Okay, I have to be frank here. Currently no, because I think the last time we have a briefing on how to conduct the examination is, I think the last time would be in PJ, if not mistaken. Because after that, everything is all inherited from department, from the seniors to the juniors, everything. And that is a good suggestion by Aki as well, or by the staff, because we took note from the last examination that there's a lot of queries or concerns about because we start enrolling our PAs and our ASU to be part of invigilators as well. So we need to have that proper training for them. Okay, but I will get back to this point after this, because there are certain other issue that is related to this one.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. So, inshallah, we look forward to hearing any kind of initiative for the briefing, inshallah, especially for this semester. Okay. Number 3, have few of the staff discussions actually highlighted certain venues for examination. There are different papers for subject, and the timing of the examination is this one is a suggestion. That means to say that to put different papers into one venue, they should share the same timing. What happened that was expressed in the previous discussion was that few lecturers mentioned that certain papers, their time to finish is earlier. So when the students are exiting the hall and etc., it somehow disturb the one that is still taking the paper there. So do you have a response for that?
Okay, first, okay, on this number three, have different paper of the same timing for the examination. Okay, the first thing that you have to know that number one, it is allowed to have different timing for in one venues. Okay, because it is a standard practice in other institutions as well. It's not just IUM. I believe in Gomba or in Kuantan they are doing the same thing as well. But okay, at the same time, it is a good thing for us to improve further. Okay, to provide a better service. Okay, if I think this issue has been highlighted in the previous examination. Okay, before this, I don't think that some of the department argue or raise a concern about this thing. But because it's being raised last semester, then inshallah we try to accommodate. Because before this, everything is acceptable. Everything is just everyone or every department just accept the timetable as it is. So we don't have. I don't know whether they have received complaints or not previously before the last semester. But inshallah, this semester because it's already being raised, then we can accommodate to the best that our ability can. Inshallah.
All right, thank you very much. Number four.
Because at the same time, I have to remind that we have limitation of venues. Okay, and usually we want to maximize the large venues. Okay, for as much as possible. That's the reason why we put few subjects at the same time. Okay, although they have a different timings, but we try our best to accommodate the suggestion, inshallah.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much. I believe that let's say probably another idea is that the arrangement, like macam usually it's side by side or that is according to line. Probably the arrangement can be that the paper that finishes earlier can be positioned in a way that they are at the back or nearer the door. Probably
Okay.
that can be to reduce the disturbance lah,
Yes.
inshallah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that could be a solution. Okay.
That's a good suggestion as well.
All right, okay. Thank you. Number four, investigate the number of invigilators. Few of the discussants, previous discussion, highlighted that certain venues, they have overload a number of assistant invigilators as well there. So do you have a comment on that?
Okay, on the numbers of invigilators, I think the ones with a large number of invigilators would be at the large venues. Okay, it can be exam hall 1, exam hall 2, or Khawarizmi. Okay, because we feel that uh, okay, actually we have to be clear that the invigilators here, assistant invigilators, usually being part of the large venue is usually are not from academics. They are also the RPAs to assist the limited numbers of academic staff at that particular venues. That's the reason. Because we try as much as possible try to minimize the use of ASO and PA to be the invigilator at the smaller venue. Because they are not being trained properly, everything as I mentioned before. So that's the reason why we swap the invigilators. Okay, we have all the PA and ASOS to be part of the large venues. Okay, and all the academic staff will be the invigilator for the smaller venues. That's the reason sometimes we have quite a numbers. And when the exam unit assigning the invigilators to certain venue, there are certain ratio that they have to look for. Okay, one invigilators to few a certain number of students. I'm sorry because I don't have the guidelines with me right now. But they are based on certain ratio. Kadang-kadang kita nampak lah tiba ramai kan. But it is calculated actually. Dia ada within the range actually.
All right. Okay. Thank you. So basically, it's not just the number, but also the type of person that is involved in that as well. Okay. Right. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Well, by the way, other discussions, feel free to chip in if you have something to comment or further question regarding our Deputy Dean's answer. Please feel free to interject, inshallah. Okay, so we're settled with number 4. Okay, number 5. Okay, few discussions last time highlighted the procedures for students to go toilet. Okay, is there a particular or any kind of guideline in particular on how to deal with when students want to go to toilet? Some actually ask them to empty their pockets. Some actually even search for, take the initiative. We heard that case previous semester whereby a few of the invigilators actually make the initiative to really check for every toilet, okay, underneath or and found something last semester, right? So is there any particular guideline for us, at least for next time, for example, that we know, okay, what kind of things to check or how to deal with students going to toilet?
Okay. Can I answer this question together with number 5 and number 6? I think that is quite related for
Okay.
me.
Mm.
Okay. And as well as number 2 just now. Okay. A briefing on conducting exam to invigilators. Okay. All these four issues. Okay. Number 2, briefing of conducting examination. Okay. Number 5, a procedure for a student going to the toilets, and number 6 is to enforce how to collect and check examination slip. Okay, the issues is all about the guidelines. Okay, number 1, okay, if you are familiar with our new SAPE, it's quite thin to me compared to the one previously that we have in 2016, if I'm not mistaken, kan? Yang
Yes.
tebal. 2016 is quite thick. Why? Because all the guidelines is embedded together, attached together as one SAPE. Okay. After we have revised our SAPE, okay, supposedly after we revise the SAPE and it become thinner, okay, all these guidelines should be embedded in the core processes, okay, to be part of the core process as well as a official guideline for that particular process. And unfortunately, up until now, it is not being established formally. Okay, we have the guideline. Okay, we are still following the guideline, but the guideline is not being revised or being finalized properly or formalized in a meeting. Okay, at least for it to be imposed. So that's the reason why number 1, number 2, we cannot conduct conducting examination, a briefing to the invigilator. Why we don't have the formal or the legal guideline for us to do that basically. Okay, and we are in the currently we are appointing some of the few of the staff to be part of the panels to revise the guidelines. Inshallah by next coming examination, we're going to have the guidelines. And it has to go through the PCM first and then go to the CCM for endorsement. And then when we have the guidelines and everything, inshallah, we'll be taken care of all the issues.
Okay, right. Alhamdulillah. So that's when briefing can start to happen, lah,
Yes,
insyaAllah. I
yes.
see. Okay, right. Alhamdulillah, there's 5 and 6 and number 2 just now. Let me just highlight this. Okay, number 7. Some of the discussion actually suggested to have, like macam video announcement that is already macam pre-record instead of the invigilators need to, repeat. Some of the feedback mentioned the readable text that is actually provided is actually not really reader friendly in a way lah, that invigilators end up just summarizing that. So few
Yeah.
suggestion is one of it is to create a video announcement, and then but probably not. Some of them are actually asking because certain venues they might not have audio visual capabilities to actually broadcast it during examination. So they would suggest that the video is still there, but it is at different times. For example, before the examination period, it was viral first, and then at least there's a minimal instruction when it comes to examination time there. So what is your take on that?
Okay, a good suggestion basically, but need to be further detailed up. Okay, number 1, for a larger venue, we don't have a problem. Why? Because we can set all the projectors are there. Okay, we only need one laptops. Okay, if it is applicable to all the venues, smaller venue, then all the invigilator has to bring their laptop to the venues. A part of the question paper, everything. I think that might create a hassle to the to the academic staff because we are using academic. Of course, the one that going to bring the laptops or the uh, cables, everything will be academic staff, not the assistant invigilator that we have. Kan? So it might create a hassle. Okay, some for some of us that can be a very good way for you to improve, but at the same time for others that create another task, unnecessary for them to bring all the laptops together during the examination lah. So I think that can be a good suggestion. By the way, maybe we can start with the larger venue first, the exam hall 1, 2, or maybe Khawarizmi. Uh,
Or let's say if the guideline is completed, it's actually a pre-recorded video, and that it
mhm.
was somehow distributed when we blast the announcement for examination. So we require the
Okay.
student at least view on themselves first, and then during examination, it does not need to be aired probably due to that technical errors there.
Mhm.
Okay, but you know, macam at least the announcement is shorter for the invigilators because they can just simply say, okay, you
Mhm.
already hopefully you already viewed the video guidelines and everything there, apa semua, something like that lah. So that's one
Okay.
of the suggestion as well lah.
Okay. Okay. And to add, I think Brother Yani before already suggested among the heads, okay, in our group already suggested that we order to come out with the do's and don'ts for
Hmm.
examination, like a posters, everything. That's a good suggestion as well. But
Hmm.
as I mentioned before, it has uh, to wait for the official guidelines to be endorsed.
Okay. Alright, okay,
But
thank you.
no,
Brother Royani, we are losing you. Are you there? Siapa? Brother Rafai,
ada?
Okay, sekat sikit. Okay, now,
Okay.
okay, Alhamdulillah. Okay, so you are with us again. Number 8. Okay, how about few discussants actually asked about giving support to students when they are not present. Here, it was meant by give support to students when they are not present. When they are not present at the exam venues, for example, there is a certain guideline on. I believe. Okay, now I remember. The issue is that there's a time limit for students to be inside the exam venue, right? It's
Yes.
about 30 minutes, right?
30 minutes.
The issue is about, some lecturers go to the extent of, calling, okay, calling the students and etc.
Mm.
There's what is your take on that? Or should we
I,
just leave them be and then, yeah? So is there any particular suggestion? Yeah.
okay. Okay. Of course, we are very, as a staff, academic staff at CFS or IU, and we are very uh, merciful to our student. Of course, rahmatan lil alamin in practice. Okay. Okay. Up to the points that calling and then go to the rooms of the student, minta tolong kawan sana, kawan sini semua kan, just to make sure that the student are available for the examination. Okay. But still, exam is an exam. Okay, we have 30 minutes limits for the student. The 30 minutes basically is to avoid like a barrier or buffer zone, a buffer time for to avoid contacts between the one in the exam hall as well as the one at the outside. That's why we have the buffer. So as long as it is within the 30 minutes, I think it is okay. But not after the 30 minutes. That's because there are reasons because on that. Okay.
Right. So generally, you would be opting for supporting the students, inshallah.
Yes, of course.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Within
Thank
the
you very much.
within the 30 minutes.
Well, yeah. Okay. Okay. Noted. Thank you very much. Number 9. Here's the thing. Because discussion highlighted about this one is pointed out by Sister Wawa, I believe, last time. Yeah.
Hmm.
She encouraged that we should follow the seating according to the seat number. However, sometimes
Okay.
due to nak katanya to easily manage the students when they exit, or group them easily according to section or according to lecturers, students were told to, sit there wherever it's okay to not follow the seat number. So
Hmm.
what's the, nak katanya, recommended. Of course the seat number is already prepared, order pun dah susah-susah buat semua tu,
Hmm.
but sometimes that factor of, the teaching lecturers, they want to arrange again there to make them easier, is also in a way justifiable as well. But
Yeah.
what is your take on this? Is there any kind of observation whereby majority of the venue actually insisted on the students sitting according to the seat number?
Okay, currently the one that we assign seat numbers is only for large venues. Okay, Khawarizmi, Exam Hall 1, Exam Hall 2. Why? Because the possibility of having 2 or 3 subject or simultaneously being held at the same venue is very high. Okay, that's the reason we have the seating number to differentiate between one section to another section, probably between one subject to another subject. Okay, but for smaller venue, usually we don't really assign seat numbers because it will be only one section or maybe 1.5 section on that particular venue, and easily to can be managed by the invigilators. Okay, so as long for me, as long as it is not it is easier for the invigilators to assist or to manage the examination, or in terms of the logistic, or in terms of collection of the the answer paper, answer script, everything, there should be no problem. But in the larger venue, we have the chief invigilators. So please discuss with the chief invigilators.
Alright, so basically it's up to the advice by the chief invigilators, inshallah.
Yes.
Right.
By the consent of the chief invigilators. Okay.
Right.
And then at the same time, on the sitting numbers ni, we receive complaint as well as last semester that some of the numbers are not in sequence. Dia melompat-lompat sikit lah from 430, suddenly 435 terus. Dia lari 4. We are still figuring out the reason why, because it is from the system. Okay, the seat number is generated by the system. By the way, it's not manually being done by our staff. So everything came out from the system. So we are in the middle of discussion with the ITD to resolve the problem of the seating numbers itself. But we took note on the comment from last semester on the ada yang lompat-lompat nombor tu lah. Okay.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Now the last one. Okay. From the previous discussion, was the issue raised because there was some nak katanya when student complain about they just had to go to the campus just to take 1 or 2 papers for receipt or special exam there, and then few staff actually highlighted that actually we need to be firm as per done by the previous semester or what. And I also did a bit of homework as well. I actually asked several lecturers at Gombak to ask how do they actually practice, and they also mentioned that despite their locations or what, they have to basically come and take, even though it's one paper there. So what is your take on that? Is that the issue is basically that allowing certain students to take online and etc. I believe that would be the issue there. Do you have any comments on that?
Okay, this is a very hot issue. I think among all the stand, this is the hottest lah. Okay, the level of apa ni, dia punya panas ni. Okay, this one lah. Whether to have a face-to-face receipt or special examination. Okay, macam just like I mentioned before. Okay, number one, because the concept of Rahmatan lil Alamin. Okay, number one, because we are being merciful to the student, especially those who are repeaters or need to receive examination. They are graduating and they don't only have one papers to sit for the examination. And then secondly, because I think last semester is like a transition between the online and face-to-face, the transition period. Okay, and a lot of the problem is that there's a lot of other institutions are having online final examination as well. So people start to compare. Okay, and it become a bit hassle a bit because the parents will jump into the emails macam-macam kan. It's not just our level, up to the higher level, Gombak punya levels, complaining that they have to, the student have to come for examination or for only for one paper, everything. There's a lot of things that the reason why we are opt for this hybrid modes basically for examination, because we still have face-to-face at our campus as well as online, especially to accommodate student from Sabah and Sarawak lah. Okay. However, the way forward for this issue, I think a thorough study has to be made. Okay, I think it can be embedded together in the guidelines as well. Okay. As Brother Samsudin mentioned just now that he did some homework. Okay, we are basically compiling several cases as well from other institutions as well on the practice of having this online receipt or special examination. Okay, whether we have to enforce or not. It's all about, because COVID basically opened up lots of other possibilities. That's the reason now, whether we are stick to our convention, okay, face to face, or we start to be a bit flexible in our teaching and learning. That's the issue I think can be discussed further in maybe. Okay, I think it can be in form of papers like presented in CCM. We have a meetings to discuss the approach, which one we want to adopt, whether face-to-face or online examination. Because I think it is quite big issue. Okay, because it involves policy at our center.
Just a subsequent question, by the way. So we were comparing the institute from other institution here. How about the kuliah? Does the kuliah actually support this online examination for receipt and special exam? What is your observation?
I think depending on cases as well. Because if the case is justified, then they opt for online as well.
I see. Okay, right. So inshallah, that will inshallah be also a part of the guidelines. So there's a good progress, inshallah. Do we have
Yes,
a question?
I think because as I mentioned before, COVID opened up lots of other possibilities. Maybe in the guideline there will be a new section on conducting online examination. Because I don't think we have a proper guideline on that at the CFS level. Okay, but I noticed that a few of other departments have their own guidelines in conducting examination, the rules and the guidelines. Okay, that being shared with the student as well as the staff. We have two set of guidelines for student and for staff. I think LMD have it, EED have it. I'm not sure about other departments. Okay, that this can be a good reference for us to develop a new guidelines for in case we have an online examination.
All right, okay, Alhamdulillah. So all the previous feedback, okay, as well as key points from the previous discussion has been communicated and the answers here is recorded. So for the rest, okay, you can always refer to the recorded here. We have several questions and comments here. So from our Madam Salina Mohin, she asked, will ODA provide special desks or seats for left-handed students? Well,
Okay, we order provide special desks or seats for left-handed student. Okay, we request the one who prepare all the seating for examination is basically the FSD under Brother Suhamilong. The atas, okay, to prepare the venue for examination. But we do request for left-handed student, especially last semester. If you notice, last semester we provide quite a number of 40, if not to be exact, 43 tables, additional tables at Khwarizmi to accommodate the left-handed student. Okay, that is an effort by ODA themselves. By ODA ourselves. Okay, we ourselves basically take all the tables from the studios and bring it to the to Khwarizmi Hall to accommodate all these needs of our student actually. So, but I think Brother Suhamilong already start the process of what we call it, getting a lot more of the tables that is friendly for left-handed as well. Okay, this is under requisition by the FSD.
just curious question. Do we have like a record whereby it indicates which student are left-handed or right-handed?
No, because
Oh,
it's not considered as a disability.
yeah.
We only have the disability records of this our student, but not on the left or right-handedness of the student. Okay, but
Alright,
we
okay.
try starting last semester we try to accommodate as much as possible. It's not a problem for the exam hall, but for Khwarizmi and the smaller venue, there will be a bit of problem. Okay, because starting last semester we start to receive the request by the student. Before this kita tak ada request by the student, tak request kan. But starting last semester, students start to request. Every time they go to the venue, then request for special table for them or extra table for them. Okay, I think we need to move forward and we need to be inclusive as well in examination.
Alright, okay, Alhamdulillah. Thank you. Another comment by our Madam Azlina. Sometimes these seats are broken in exam venue. Can the assistant invigilator get these earlier and check the seats, these cases here? What's your comment on that? I believe you can also, we all can read the comments in the chat.
Okay. We do have the checking prior to the examination. Basically, our staff after the FSD already arranged the venue for examination. Okay, we have our staff to check the venues, and during the examination themselves, our assistant invigilator or examination attendant will check as well in case that there are problem. Okay, supposedly they will report if there's a problem with that particular venue in terms of seating or you need to change the seating and everything. Maybe after this, Madam Azina can contact the examination attendant, okay, to address the issue.
Alright, okay, Alhamdulillah.
But I have to remind as well, okay, the responsibility to prepare the venue, okay, for examination is under FSD. Okay, we provide all the templates, the venues, which venue to be set for examination. Okay, the FSD staff will prepare them.
Alright, okay, Alhamdulillah. Any other concerns, comments, sharing of your experiences or what? This is the place right now. I'll try my best to keep silent. Opening.
Good afternoon, boss. Assalamualaikum. Hazi.
Waalaikumsalam. Okay.
Hazi here.
Okay.
Okay, last semester I can see that we use quite a lot of flip chairs, especially for small venue. I think the flip chairs is not really suitable, no matter for left-handed or right-handed students. I mean, like I can see that they're not really comfortable writing. And then they need to put their stationaries. Keep fall. Their stationaries is really not comfortable. So is there any way on how we can cater the proper table and the proper chairs and table for them during the exam session? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hazi. Okay, that's a good highlights on our facilities basically. We do discuss this matter with FSD because all these furniture belongs to their jurisdiction basically. So at the same currently, as I mentioned before, FSD is basically in the process of acquiring all these more user-friendly tables, or if it is a flip chairs pun, the one is a bit bigger for the uh, for the writings. Okay, that can accommodate both the left-handed and the right-handed as well. But I think I can highlight this further to Brother Swami Long later. Because if you want to change all the chairs in the flip chairs in the center, then it will involve all the venues. Okay, you can imagine the cost. Maybe we can start few. Okay, and then we start every year we can start acquiring new facilities. That's fine.
Right, thank you. Okay. So there's a comment by our Madam Azlina again.
Okay, I am concerned with the collection of exam script, especially in the large exam hall. Can ODA come out with a professional guideline to collect the script? Okay, inshallah, we can highlight this concern, okay, in our guidelines. Okay, inshallah.
If I may capture, few highlights for it to be included in the guidelines, it includes collecting slips, nak katanya apa tadi tu, handling toilet, handling toilets and going to toilets. This particular one is submitting scripts. All right, yeah, open. Any other feedback, comments, sharing? Is this the place? Okay, so in the meantime, while waiting, to get some idea, I just recently came back from okay. Our Madam Nur Hidayati Ruslai asked, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. Is there a solution to those who invigilate unfamiliar subject matter at small venues? Yeah, Do you have a comment for that?
For instance, you have to invigilate, for example, Arabic courses, Arabic-based courses, or any other courses that is unfamiliar to the nature of our departments. Okay. Okay. Okay, this is usually happens to the Arabic-based courses, or especially on the LQM. Okay, because this matter, because it involves a lot of students, that it cannot be accommodated by QLD staff just as it is lah. Okay, that's why we need extra invigilators to accommodate to that particular venues. Okay, usually our take at ODA is that we focus on the nature or the core courses of that particular department first. Okay, we assign to the staff, and then after that, then we have all the additional tasks to be added as well. Okay, maknanya priority is on the core courses. Then you will be given, you are given the additional task to invigilate the LQM, ELD, RK, because it involves a lot of students. Okay, for example, me myself sometimes have to invigilate ICT. Though I'm not that familiar because I'm not teaching basic application of ICT, but that is considered as extras. Okay, to give the task evenly among the staff. Okay, your task to invigilate basically. So for if you are saying that you only want to focus on the subject that you are familiar with, or the subject that is belong to your department, it is impossible because we need to have some responsibility for other subject as well, especially those of service courses. Okay, ELD, LQM, ICT, and RK.
Right, okay, so thank you for highlighting the nature. I would like to chip in here. I believe that we accept that we will going to be invigilating papers that are unfamiliar, but I believe that Madam Hidayati asked about, okay, is there any particular solution? I think I can share. There's one thing that actually happened in the previous semester. We actually formulated this solution whereby I actually asked the course leader, how do you monitor if there are students in that particular venue, ask questions or why. I actually suggested that the course leader should have the course leader can create a WhatsApp group for all the invigilators. Okay, so whenever a student asks in that particular venue, that invigilator can directly forward the question in the group, and the course leader or the subject matter expert can respond immediately. All right, so that's one solution.
To add on to that, okay, I think I have to praise QLD, ELD, IRK, and ICT because they manage their papers are quite well. Okay, it can be an example to other departments because whenever they have other department staff, okay, to invigilate their papers, okay, they will give them a short note, okay, saying that this is the person in charge. Should the student ask any question, please refer to this person. So the submission is at what is at the department. All the details is already included in the short notes. Okay, and they give it to all the invigilators from other departments. To some extent, that some of them even give some refreshment to the invigilators. That is a very good courtesy by the departments. That can be, I think, emulated by other departments as well. Especially if you notice that your papers will be invigilated by people or by academic staff from other departments. Okay.
Right, Alhamdulillah. I think this is the purpose of PD actually. Yeah. We actually share practices from different departments so that we can do that. Okay, so open any other comments, concerns? Thank you, by the way, for those who ask questions or solutions. Okay, so just now while there was a point just now that I wanted to share while waiting just now. I just came back from auditing one particular kuliah, and one very attractive thing that I learned from their practice is that their strong room. This is post examination, so it's still part of examination, just that it's post, okay? Because we also need to concern about the strong room that we keep all these answer script. The way they do it is that their strong room is even hidden. the strong room is hidden. No one actually. I was also quite shocked when they brought me to the strong room. Okay, it was somehow, you know, people wouldn't expect that that's actually a strong room. That is very well hidden. That's number one. And number two, what's interesting is that the final vetting process is actually done in the strong room. Okay, so done in a strong room there. So here again, I'm not going into vetting because our topic here is about conducting final exam. So we want to focus on what happens after the final exam there. So what kind of good practices that we can somehow improve after this, because right now at the moment, our way of keeping the collected answer script is that after being marked, the lecturers keep. Okay, some departments they actually collect and put in their own strong room. Other kuliahs they have a centralized strong room where all papers will be put there. The one that I audited recently lah. So all papers. So that means they don't have a strong room for different departments there. So what is your comment, or even different departments can also share how do you actually manage after the lecturers mark the paper. Okay, so open for comments and discussion.
Okay, I think before we start with the discussion, we have to know what is the definition of a strong room. Okay, whether the room is fit to be called as a strong room or not. Okay, that will we answer almost all the concern that we have actually. What is the definition of strong room? Okay, what are the technical requirement of strong room for it to be called a strong room? Okay, because I think almost all the department have a strong room. Okay, the one that not everybody can access. Okay, we can use only I think the heads and the PA have the access to that particular room. Okay, that is strong room. Okay, but that is very minimum. Okay, and the size of the room is quite limited. It's quite small actually. To have a vetting inside a strong room is like I think it is impossible. Okay, for me Marsinan, I can say that it's impossible. It can only fit 3 people. Okay, or side by side macam tu sajalah. That's the size of a strong room, and then I don't think that it can be called a strong room because the technical requirement of the room itself is not fit to be called a strong room, because strong room you need to have a grill, you need to have you can see the construction of the room itself. It has to be from the floor up until the ceiling. The wall has to go straight, means that there will be no ceiling. It should be like an enclosure of a concrete base of enclosure macam tu lah. Then it can be called a strong room. So to have that, I think it is almost impossible because our infrastructure is not fit for that. Okay, that's number one. But I noticed that some of the departments is already equipped with the exam preparation room that is quite large. That can be, it's not a strong room, but it can be like a limited access type of room, okay, for us to have a discussion on the examination matters or for marking everything. Because I noticed that some of the departments are using the meeting room as their centralized marking venues, which I think all the question will be in the meeting room, and terbiar macam tu saja. Maybe lah dia akan kunci kan. Yang tu lagi lah tak strong compared to something that is limited access lah. Okay, that's the thing I think why we trying our best to accommodate or to follow the standard. Okay, at the same time we have to look at the facility that we have within our means kan, what we can improve further from that. Okay, I think because the issue yang penting yang being highlighted by some student is on the confidentiality of the marking or the final vetting itself. As long as I think the departments can manage that to really secure the confidentiality of the process, then I think would be a good start.
So itulah macam this one is also open, especially we have a good representative of different departments, right? So can you share like macam what happens in your department after the lecturer mark the answer script? Do all the answer script is put in the strong room department, or each lecturer keep their own paper? Can you share your practices just to have a nak katanya
Can we have a representative from mathematics department, because I believe that mathematics is quite strict in the marking.
Yeah.
They have to mark inside the office. not in their room, or they cannot take up the answer script and bring back to their home, tak boleh. Okay?
Yeah.
Matematik boleh share tak?
Yeah, anyone from mathematics probably want to share? Or any other departments for matters? Yeah, just I want just to get the feel of what is the department practicing right now. Same with ICT department, okay.
So Madam Azrina, can you share?
Yeah, can you share what actually happens?
Assalamualaikum. Actually,
Waalaikumsalam.
with ICT, we have to mark in the department meeting room. We are given like a few days in the meeting room to mark with all the lecturer lah, and then after that we bring the marks script to our room and put in our room only, because we don't have any room to store. So bukan our room. Dulu our room, yes, starting from a few semester, then we have the filing room in the department itself, because they are better compared to our room yang boleh je orang masuk kan. Itulah. Sebelum tu dekat bilik lah. Lama juga dah beberapa semester we start to put in the department. Okay.
So
But
the question paper will be left, or the answer script will be left in the meeting room.
Yeah, the question paper actually the way we mark the question paper is also the answer paper. So
Okay.
semuanya dalam bilik
So
department lah.
So how the department control the access to the because it is in the meeting room kan, the access to the question paper, the answer script itself. Because ICT dengan Bayu kan kongsi departments kan.
They have two filing room, one for the department, one for the ICT department, another for the Bayu. So two
Okay,
different.
so the marking will be inside the filing room.
The marking is in the meeting room. The script
paper dalam
dalam
okay.
filing room. Yeah.
Dalam filing room.
Normally Bayu, not so sure. Not so sure about the Bayu, but ICT we always mark in the meeting room. But normally we'll have like 2-3 days. Katalah ada department Bayu have a meeting in the meeting room, then we have to move out. Masa tu baru dibenarkan masuk bilik naik atas dia pun. But then to carry to our home cannot. That is instruction. Instruction is like that.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing. How about the other departments?
Mathematics, Sister Afifah boleh share?
Assalamualaikum. I'm from
Okay.
math.
Okay.
I'm from math. So math is actually practicing the same thing. We mark paper at the office, and we are not allowed to bring home. And when we are done with it, then we put it in a room, in the room that's provided. Then the key will be given, someone will open up the key for those who wants to mark. So it's always under control. So far, that's how we practice. Alhamdulillah.
Just a question, if no one is marking, will there be someone closing the room or what?
Yes. Yeah, it would not be left unattended.
Right, okay.
Madam, my question is that because mathematics doesn't have the a dedicated meeting room, so where the marking took place?
At the general office.
General office.
Yeah, we have the table provided, and we mark like all of us will mark there, especially those with many groups. That's how we do our marking.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in general office.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So maybe I think maybe through Akil, it's not Akil pun, through ISO committee, we can have formulate a standard guideline for the marking.
Marking, okay. Itulah macam you also just now mention about the guideline for assessment. Should it be the same thing or yeah?
Because
Kalau macam
the
share the
guideline,
same thing.
okay, I think we need to have a further discussion on this.
Kan.
Yes.
I think we also need to be
It has to be to be reflected of our core process, the
Yeah.
marking, everything as well.
Betul. Itulah macam that's why because it's not really nak katanya tu macam kadang ada different departments itulah some departments their lecturers still keeping their answer script tu yang macam nak survey is it the same with other departments ke macam mana, so just nak surveying here lah. Other departments ada tak macam feedback on this one post exam practice? In the meantime, mungkin dia orang tolak siapa nak cakap tu. Can you comment on tu Madam Hidayatis comment on she suggested the lecturer of own subject to be put in the small venue or what, or have you answered that actually just now?
I think so. Okay. As much as possible, we try to accommodate that. Okay. For other departments, staff to basically to invigilate people from other departments. But of course, we have a limited numbers of staff that we have. Okay. And lately, we have a small number of exam attendant as well. So that's the reason we cannot afford to have that liberty or that freedom to have our own subject only for us to invigilate.
Alright, alhamdulillah. Okay, probably.
But okay, Sister Hidayati, if you feel that you're really uncomfortable with that setting, okay, the invigilation task that given to you, okay, you can contact Sister Zaida, okay, maybe you can swap. Okay, we have few of the staff that for example they have a problem with certain dates that they cannot accommodate, okay, they cannot come for invigilation, then they swap. Okay, that can be internally arranged, insyaAllah.
Thank you, Brother Rafai and Samsudin.
Alright, thank you very much. Any other last one, probably last comment, concern, issue, opening up, last one? Inshallah, probably this will be the part 2 and end, and then the next PD we're going to open up for another topic, inshallah. So the big one I believe would conclude here is that to wait for the coming guideline on assessment conduct, inshallah. Okay, so inshallah. Right. Okay. So I believe that if there's no one case with the remaining 7 minutes, okay, I would like to conclude the takeaway points here that I have. That I take note on. Okay, so I believe we also rectified all the comments in the share box there. Okay, so take home point for PD number 3 today. So we have rectified all the issues and concerns, okay, from the previous PD. Okay, so if you missed that, it's okay. You can later on check out YouTube Akil TV and check the recording, uploaded recording, inshallah. It was at the beginning of the discussion just now. Now, key takeaway point for number 1, ODAI will work closely with FSD, Facility Services Division Department, on making sure that comfortability of exam tables and chairs and their well-being is taken care of, inshallah, this semester, hopefully. Okay. Then DDAI highlighted that the guidelines for assessment is on its way. Because technically it's already there based on the previous SAPER, just that with the new SAPER, when it is not included, this thing need to be refined and need to be officially endorsed, okay, officially agreed in meetings there. We are waiting for that, inshallah, which covers, guidelines on collecting slips, handling students going to toilets or checking, submitting scripts and etc. Inshallah. And then for invigilators who are unfamiliar with the subject, okay, we accepted that we are going to invigilate subjects that are unfamiliar to us. However, Oda mentioned that they will try to minimize this as much as possible. Okay, just that a few solutions, okay, could be that for the course leader or for the host of the exam, for the owner of the exam, can take initiative. For example, like the Oda highlighted what CELPAT did. is to provide some short notes, okay, distributed to all invigilators, okay, on person to contact if there is question by students and etc. I shared how HS was doing, whereby this WhatsApp group for between the course leader and all the invigilators to manage all the questions, okay, so that this can be a solution to actually cater to that particular need here. So this is one that we discovered, a solution here for today. Okay, and then we noticed, okay, departmental practice varies, okay, in regards to post-exam conduct, such as centralized marking and keeping of answer script. But it's okay at the moment, so long as the main criteria of keeping it confidential, limited access, and safe. Okay, so the concept is integrity. Okay, the concept is integrity. So the process must have integrity. Embed in it. So these are among the key takeaways. Inshallah, the recording will be made available in Akil TV. You can also look into that, inshallah. And I hope that, inshallah, probably. So the biggest one that we are going to wait for this progress of the discussion is for the assessment guideline to materialize, inshallah. Okay, so with that, I believe, but don't forget to click in the attendance link. Okay, I thank Brother Rafai for his attendance, and I thank everyone's discussion for your attendance, for your contribution, and for your at least attention for this particular session. Inshallah, if you have a suggestion for future topics, please feel free to write to us. Okay, Akil, and I'll see you next time, inshallah, for our next professional discussion in 2 months' time, inshallah. So thank you very much. Let us end with tasbih kafara and suratullah subhanallah. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.